Welcome back, everybody, to another great day of the LCK 2020. It is me, Valdez, with literally Set. How are you doing today, my good friend Set?
You know what? I'm feeling pretty okay.
Yeah?
I'm feeling pretty okay. I watched
Day
LEC
4 in a
last
row.
night. It is day 4 in a row. And I have another day ahead of me.
Yeah.
Another week. So.
And then another month.
And then another week.
And then it never ends. Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's not a joke anymore.
It's actually real. But yeah, I mean, we got some more League of Legends. We've seen all of the teams now. Everybody's played at least once. Some teams have played twice. And it is going to start off with APK versus DWG Gaming. This, on paper, looks like a pretty one-sided matchup after APK's first performance against Sandbox did not look good at all.
And the other thing about this matchup that is a little similar to Sandbox is obviously Nuguri up there in top lane. Very akin to if you're going to end up going up against Summit. And then you have Showmaker in the mid lane. So APK probably not going to have a very good time. Like we said before, they bought the plane off Jin Air.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's definitely not a good thing to do. But guys, we're going to take a look at some standings for right now. As you guys can see, we did talk about this before. One team has played twice, that's KT, and they did lose both of those games, unfortunately. I kind of like the style of these standings, actually. All the logos kind of look like, I don't know, like soda can logos, you know what I mean?
They really do.
Like, I saw the KT Roaster one, and I'm like, oh, that looks like Coca-Cola, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it honestly looks like, I don't even know what's leading. That's like a Royal, do you know what, it's like RC, it's like Pepsi, but
Yeah,
I
know
think that's like the Africa symbol.
Yeah, Royal Cola or something.
Yeah.
Speaking of royalty, the points of the match.
Why is Fresca third?
I don't know. Big mistake. Definitely not third in my heart.
All right. Well, points of the match. Both APK and DAMWON didn't have a good start. DAMWON, they had their game stolen away from them. But
yes,
it was mostly due to the resilience of who they were going up against. And also Nuguri, he was doing a couple of Leroy Jenkins impressions.
Yes.
At all the wrong times. So I don't think that's going to impede them here today. First Sandbox, now DWG Gaming. APK, yeah, they're going up against teams from Challengers. And when you think about it, both of those teams are top of the standings. So this is definitely a bit of a more difficult road for APK in the first couple of weeks.
Bottom says APK Flaw Lee Sin versus DWG Gaming Canyon. But the Korean is a lot more descriptive, as it calls him kind of like the overpowered Lee Sin Canyon. So definitely both great Lee Sin players, more aggressive junglers, and it should be a pretty fun and exciting jungle matchup. But let's take a look at the key players of the matchup. You were kind of already highlighting this. Nuguri versus Ixu in the top lane. Ixu, a very unique style, but in their first game, he played very meta champions in Set and Mordekaiser.
Yeah, and he's going up against Nuguri here, and just like I said against Summit, you're not going to find an edge probably playing straight up against these kind of players in top lane, and so a little bit curious to see if Ixu will try any of his off-meta shenanigans against Nuguri here today, because that's realistically the only way that I think that there will be any potential pressure relief up in top lane.
Yeah, they could throw a couple of wild cards at DWG Gaming and just really throw caution to the wind. Again, as you were saying a lot yesterday, it is still very early. We're still in week 1. These two teams have only played once themselves, so still a lot to show us and improve on for the LCK 2020 Spring, as they are going to be going head-to-head. And speaking of head-to-head, let's go into some trash talk and see what these players have to say.
자, 챌린저스 코리아도 가끔 보는데 잘한다 이런 느낌 못 받았었는데 올라가지고 예상 못했어요. 저희 두 번째가 APK. 거기에는 또 그 개 있는데 시크릿 기선이. 플로리스도 APK 맞네. 이게 재밌네. 같이 하던 애들. 2015년 스베누 시절에 진짜 휴가도 거의 안 가지면서 새벽 스크린 매일 해가면서 열심히 했던 기억이 있는데 세상 좁다. 최근에도 같이 드라이브하고 한강 가서 뭐 라면 먹고 연락은 자주 하고 있습니다. 뭔가 기분 이상할 것 같은데 그래도 적은 적이니까 많이 죽이려고 할 것 같아요.
뉴클리어 선수랑 같은 팀이었어가지고 제가 작년에는 꼭 이기고 싶었는데 그거를 작년에 못 이뤄가지고 리프 드라이브 했을 때 좀 맞았거든요. 그래서 좀 복수를 하고 싶어요.
플로리스 선수의 리신이 진짜 스베너 시절에 많이 날려다녔었는데 요새 그 감각이 남아있나 잘 모르겠어요. 옛날 느낌은 아닌 것 같던데.
그래서 좀 복수를 하고 싶어요.
맨날 익수 선수가 비주류 챔피언들만 하고 있더라고요. 너무
정말 상상도 못했고 1라운드가 대회에서 나올 거라는 건 상상도 못하고 있었는데 생각을 좀 해야 되지 않을까. 제가 어쩌면 알파몬 선수가 좀 잭스나 이렐리아 이런 거는 좀 솔랭에서나 많이 만나봐가지고 약간 좀 대처 방안이나 이런 걸 좀 알겠는데 1라운드는 정말 모르겠어요.
이번에 캐스파컵 때도 보니까 익수 선수가 바텀 갖고 원딜이 탑 같더라고요. 그래서 좀 참신한 팀.
그렇게 뒤가 없는 플레이를 하면은 진짜 좋은 챔피언을 가진 선수가 되게 이득 볼 확률이 높거든요. 그래서 뱀픽이 좀 중요할 것 같아요. 너구리 선수가 좋은 구도면은 제가 혼날 것 같고.
특이한 거 많이 좋아하시잖아요.
도벽이요? 작년에 사실 많이 보여드리지 못했지만 개인적으로 여기 마음 속에는 저도 이제 어디서 꿀리지 않는다 이런 생각이 조금 있어가지고
너구리 선수가 더 강력하다고 생각합니다. 그래도 학원이 형이 다 커버할 거라고 믿고 있습니다.
저희는 든든한 국밥형 미드라이너 쇼메이커가 있기 때문에 허수만 이렇게 뒷모습만 밀고 가면 되거든요.
저희 미드 또 아이디가 사랑의 허수. 그 쇼메이커님 본명이거든요. 쇼메이커 선수를 사랑하는 선수가 있는데 좀 사랑하는 만큼 더 잘해주지 않을까요?
이대요. 깔끔하게 승리하고 싶어. 기선아, 너도 행만 한번 보고 가.
감동이네요.
익수에 대한 신뢰도가 되게 높아가지고 익수 형을 좀 믿을 것 같아요. 그냥. 너구리 선수 상대로도 잘할 수 있을 거라고.
독이 되는 공격성이 저한테는 플러스 점수가 될 수 있게 노력해야죠. 빈틈을 제가 공략해보도록 하겠습니다.
이선수 한마디요? 어려운데? 어떻게 해야 되지? 1라운드만 너무 신경 쓰다가 다른 챔피언 또 신경 안 쓰면 안 될까봐 좀 살살 부탁드리겠습니다.
상대하기 쉬운 팀이라고 생각해서 좀 쉽게 이길 것 같습니다.
담원도 싸움 좋아하고 저희도 싸움 좋아하니까 그냥 싸움 대 싸움으로 시원하게 한번 합시다.
Well, there you have it. You heard it from the players themselves. Showmaker was the one I feel like who was talking the most actual trash. He was very straightforward. He showed a very high lack of respect. He's like, they're bad. We're going to beat them. I don't even know how they qualified for LCK. We'll beat them real quick and then we'll move on with our lives. That's what Showmaker had to say. So if I were APK, Korean casters are cheering him on as their voices are going out into the studio. But yeah, if I were APK, I would get angry if I heard something like that. I mean, they're professionals as well. They're good players in general here in Korea. But, you know, DAMWON talking some trash.
We'll see what APK can manage to do today, but also where's their mental state going to be at if they do fall behind relatively early on against DWG? Because realistically, you would have to consider yourself the underdog and know that you are for obvious reasons coming into the match. And I really don't know what they're hoping to do. And the other thing that is worrisome is DAMWON starts on red side, which means that they're going to have counterpick available mid or top, whatever they basically please, which is much more of a problem for APK, who would be looking to sort of get some sort of an edge in either one of those two lanes. Not going to likely be able to find it, but we'll see what draft has in store for us. Obviously, we've seen some pretty exciting stuff in the last couple of days. We've seen Soraka.
Yeah, that was
We've
fun.
seen Yuumi. We saw Soraka yesterday in the LEC.
Soraka and Yuumi here on the same team at the LCK. And looks like we're ready to hop into pick and ban. And the question marks will soon disappear. We do have Kane in the mid lane. I don't want to call him Keen.
Keeney.
Keeney?
That's, yeah. Kaney.
Kaney. Okay. His name is Kaney. It's very different from Keen, so that makes me happy. So we can distinguish the two. As Set will not be first picked, but he will be first banned.
He's gonna get first banned.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you. Let's take a look what DAMWON is going to ban away against APK. It looks like it's gonna be the Pantheon.
Yeah, we haven't seen much Pantheon at all. They're banned out the majority of games. Another champion that has been banned 16 times and not played is Akali. So I wouldn't be surprised if she gets taken out here in game 17.
DAMWON will ban her away. APK having also removed the Lucian, as Syndra is now taken off the table.
Yeah, Syndra. We did see one game of Syndra yesterday. Didn't amount to a win, as Kuro wasn't able to pilot that to a victory, even though he had a great game one, an MVP performance, a POG performance, you might even say. And then a great performance on Zoe the next game, even though they did lose. As Elise also going to be taken off the board, so none of that aggressive jungler coming on in. Aphelios will be picked up here as the first pick. Very standard for APK.
See if DAMWON just want to respond to MF Lee Sin or something of that nature. R1, R2, AD jungle. Never mind, it's actually going to be R1, R2, Zyra Khan. So a very fast 1-2 punch response.
Yeah, and you'd have to imagine with how quickly that happened that they knew that Aphelios was going to be first picked, and they had this planned coming into the bot lane.
And Rumble now being hovered. It will get locked in. APK, supports are wide open, so you might just want to choose a jungler here. There's no real reason to pick a support, given that there's no bans allocated towards them, and there's plenty of options against Zyra Khan down there in the bot lane, but we'll see what ends up happening. It is actually going to be a jungle. Remember, Rumble in theory is able to be flexed 3 roles. Also, Olaf is able to be flexed 2 if a Mordekaiser would come in. Olaf into Mord is probably Mord's worst matchup in top lane that you can possibly get.
So Mordekaiser is just going to be ignored for now. We don't see it picked or banned in the first phase of the pick ban.
DAMWON gonna have to most likely decide if they're gonna want to pinch supports, or it's a very awkward spot. I think support is the only thing that you can really go with here. And the reason that I say that is because you don't know exactly where Rumble is going. And so allocating bans that could just be empty in themselves is a bit unfortunate. Now you can also try to guillotine Rumble into going mid lane by trying to pinch, but still, the pools are still so wide open that it would be a little difficult to do so. APK banning Aatrox. So I feel like that's giving away that Rumble is likely going to be going top lane. Aatrox, one of the few champions that can actually just neutralize him or go even. Nautilus banned away now by DAMWON. This means that Leona will still be up.
Aurelia picked up there. I heard the sound of something being picked twice. Not sure if that was a bug in the system, but either way, Aurelia is banned. And I thought maybe we were having a immediate follow-up pick, but not yet. DAMWON putting some time into this. And they're going to go with Jarvan most likely. J4 picked up for the side of Canyon.
And now APK, what you're looking at is enormous amounts of short range, super hard engaged champions. And honestly, champions like Cassiopeia aren't even that bad here. Leona is fine as a support champion. They're hovering Thresh though. So we will have, obviously, the ability to bring an ally to safety. Cassiopeia would be going in semi-blind. It's most likely going to be the Ryze in the mid lane, but let's see what they end up selecting. Hopefully it's not something completely off theme. And yeah, we well,
Good start.
We almost made it there.
Yeah, good start to the day.
They just couldn't help themselves from trying to sin. That's all.
They were holding on right till the end. They were doing so well.
Now, the really cool thing, though, is that Jarvan's Cataclysm can work against DAMWON now with the Qiyana, but also you have the glorified combo of the Equalizer and Qiyana just trying to come in and do massive things, which a lot of people tend to get overly excited for. When you're ahead, it feels very win more. It's extremely oppressive and very little options for the losing team to play against, but when it's even or behind, it's very lackluster. They use their whole combos and then you just sort of kill them anyway.
Yeah. And if you can avoid them, it's like, oh, I guess we just win the fight, especially because we're ahead. And yeah, there you have it. First pick ban of the day. You see that Ryze does get flexed into the top lane for Nuguri, going up against Rumble for Ixu. And the counter pick was saved for the mid lane for Showmaker. So LeBlanc into the Qiyana. You were talking about that kind of as a counter matchup yesterday.
So in a vacuum, I mean, they have some counter matchups literally just like that in a vacuum. Thresh, Philios, Qiyana, Olaf, and Rumble. Going to be the team composition for APK. They fall behind, there's no coming back. And if they're on even footing, one bad fight spells lights out, but one good fight doesn't necessarily spell a victory. Given the scaling on the side of DAMWON, Ryze, Jarvan, LeBlanc, Xayah, and Rakan. Obviously, much more capable of going the distance. They also have the counter matchup in the middle lane. And the Qiyana is really important to the enemy team comp, so we'll see what ends up happening.
Yeah, and we are going to jump on a Summoner's Rift right now for game number 1 here. DAMWON versus APK. Going into this one, APK looking to fight back against the poor showing that they did show against Sandbox their first time around. DAMWON, as you mentioned, kind of had their wins stolen away from them. Very close games up against SKT to start off LCK 2020. I say SKT, but it is, of course, T1. Still getting used to that as we do come along. All the cool skins being shown off now.
Don't worry about it. No, it is.
Yeah?
Not a big deal.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Did Joe say that? He's like, oh yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can say SKT. We don't mind.
It just means Super T1. Clearly.
SKT.
Yeah.
Super, what's the case stand for?
You know what?
Super Korean T1.
Yes.
Oh, there we
Correct.
go. Okay,
there
great.
You go.
Yeah.
There, saved.
We got a little small invade coming on in here.
Okay, well.
Nuguri is going to spot it.
And we are off to sinning right at the very start.
Off to the races. Into the enemy jungle. There is also a ward placed in the bottom brush that could spot for the enemies going into the lane.
Showmaker did just miss 1 CS, so I feel like we can just go next.
Yeah, restart the scrim. Oh, he missed 2.
Having a bit of an off day here to start things off. That definitely does not feel good. Okay, so Jarvan is going to do blue into red. Olaf is going to counter jungle the Raptor camp. They're going to leave 1 behind. Ixu might try to pile up 3 waves and then dive the Ryze with the Olaf after he ends up completing the Golem camp is, depending on what Rise ends up doing inside of the lane, although maybe Rumble is just trying to pull the wave so that Rise is overextended. As we take a look at the wave in mid lane, Qiyana currently shoved underneath the turret. Showmaker not really doing a very good job at CSing though.
Yeah. It's kind of that desperate push and ultra harass that can sometimes happen in solo queue that leaves you vulnerable to ganks and stuff like that, but not really happening just yet. The Jarvan is inside the enemy jungle. He left one small raptor, took all of the Krugs. They had a ward up in the top side placed by Nuguri on the Krug, so they knew exactly where Olaf was. So that meant that Canyon could just, you know, say, hey, okay, we're going to go vertical jungling. That's all good and fine.
This is actually really good right now. You can notice Showmaker pulling the 4th wave into him, and he's also going to have the 5th wave coming in. And this lines up very nice for Jarvan, but also Showmaker, depending on what either one of them would want to do. Showmaker not really gankable, and Flawless even having to come into mid, because if this lane gets to continue going the way that it is, Qiyana is going to be locked up for the 6th wave, and that would definitely be problematic if she stays inside of the lane. So Flawless comes in, helps Kaney get his recall off. We'll see what his first item is going to be. Boots and a longsword, so doesn't quite have the gold for mobility boots.
Looks like almost exactly mirrored jungles, except that the Olaf is one camp down as he didn't do the wolves. Jarvan backing a little bit later just to take that time as he was on that side of the map.
Top lane, there's already a noticeable CS deficit growing between Nuguri and Ixu, although there is quite a lot of minions actually for Ixu to eat.
Not sure about that trade.
Well,
Nuguri got really aggressive and ate a full flame spitter in the
oh
face.
my god.
And now he's being baited into a fight. He's going to Rune Prison down Ixu. And now trying to fight onto Flawless, but he's just going to get flashed on and die. Nuguri with a bit of a mistake there in the laning phase. First blood going the way of Ixu after baiting Nuguri into that fight.
That's a very big kill to get this early on. Rumble, you can see the recall into Merc Treads, also has his lane state in a position where he doesn't need to use teleport to get back, so, well,
Yeah.
heavy trade,
down
yeah,
here.
heavy trade happening in bottom.
The root from the Gravitum did land from Aphelios, and so that's why they really got it going, because Beryl felt like he had to tank in the front for his girlfriend, Zaya.
Well, how do you know that they're not maybe engaged?
I mean, could happen. Wow, that was a very safe flash out of Kaney. You don't see that all the time. Sometimes players will just take the, you know, take the bait of not flashing and be a little bit greedy. But we'll take another look here at the top lane.
And this is just Nuguri greeting for absolutely zero reason in the world. Because even if he trades against Rumble here, when he casts the spells on Rumble as Rumble's blowing up the minions, Rumble's never in lethal range. So because Rumble's never in lethal range, you're just wasting your time, and then you're going to lose minions that are coming in from the next wave. So Nuguri doing his best to actually deny himself over 100 gold. Ended up getting killed in the process.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a great feeling, for sure.
It's not a winning line.
No, definitely not. He is doing well in terms of CS. But that kill definitely an unfortunate one, as it was first blood on top of that, so the Rumble going to get a nice little boost in the top lane.
Flawless just continuing to try to power farm. And XP point, Showmaker and Nuguri really leading this. What happened? Oh, okay. Flawless took a bit of XP from both mid and top laners.
Yeah. Looks to be the case, as he's about to hit level 6 right now. already on his red buff. Should have it after that. We'll see where he decides to go. Could even decide to go onto the dragon early if he wants to get that objective started. There's no real actual gank that he could go for, so the dragon is going to be the obvious choice here, especially with LeBlanc backing. Kind of be a bit of a free one that you can pick up.
The thing about the Cloud Dragon is it's not very high priority for anyone on DAMWON. So they're going to be fine to just give this one up. Ocean Dragon's going to come up second.
Oh, wow.
And
Secret, you got to land those. He was walking in a straight line.
If you are a DAMWON fan, you probably want to see a Mountain Soul come up. And I mostly say that because if you do get added resistances against this APK team composition, it'll really help in negating anything that the Kiana and Rumble can actually do in the later stages, and then ultimately if you can complete the Soul, you will just likely outright win. As yeah, we're having a bit of a slow game. How was your night, Valdez?
My night last night?
Yeah.
Kind of went home and passed out. It wasn't really too eventful. It was a long day yesterday. We had 6 games in total. And
yes.
I think now that's 6-5-6, if I'm not mistaken. Or 6-4-6. I can actually confirm that right now. So yeah, 6-4-6. So a total of already 14 games. Oh no, that's 16 games.
Yeah, 15 games, Valdez.
16 games that you do have under your belt.
Thank you.
You're here in number 17. How does it feel? Is your voice holding up? Are you gonna make it through the week?
I actually feel my throat is feeling some pressure right now.
Well, it's gonna have to take a rest. Flawless is gonna win that smite fight here, and looks to be the end of the fighting for now. Nuguri was coming down, but Ixu in position to stop it. Very early Shelly take here by the side of Flawless, who did also take that one. Nice little death sentence here, but it is recon, so they're not going to overcommit. Taking it out, so just the Rift Herald will go down. No other action. So how's your throat doing?
My throat is definitely a little sore.
Okay.
And feeling a little strained.
As it should.
I'm planning to go and get some stuff between the first series and the second series.
Between the series, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That'll hopefully help out.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it does. Well,
I mean,
yeah,
getting stuff
yeah, you know. Thought you were making like a pun.
No pun there.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Take a look at the farming here from DAMWON across the board. They're all above 100 in the lanes. Before anyone on the side of APK is. Finally, we do have Aphelios getting there, but you talked about the vacuum counter matchup in mid. That has not been affected really at all by any junglers, and that does mean that Showmaker is going to get ahead here. Top lane, even though Nuguri died, we talked about how he had that CS lead and has been doing well since.
This is always the interesting thing about Kiana and competitive is either she doesn't get to roam and then she doesn't look like she serves any purpose other than constantly getting shoved in and going down 30 CS, or she's roam city and even though she has 40 CS, she has 5 kills. So it's really great. But Kiana and competitive is a very interesting thing to look at because you play it in solo queue, you play it in scrims where everything is just much less controlled, as weird as that sounds to say about scrims, and you can have a lot of success with it, and then you come out on stage and everyone's more cautious. Everyone's playing safer because you don't want to be the reason that you mess up and cost the team the game. So already, I mean, he's down 31 CS, Seeker's Arm Guard for Showmaker, as well as the Lost Chapter and a Darkseal. Team at finally completed for the Kiana, but in every single lane, everyone's just losing on their own. And then when you factor in that you have such a awful champion such as Olaf, the longer that this game ends up going, just had to weave that one in there.
Yeah. He had a great game yesterday, though, our boy Olaf.
Yeah.
had
You know what?
a pop-off moment. He earned player of the game from 10 out of 12 people.
This reminds me of, well, hold
Here we
on.
go. That's going to be knocked into the wall. Dead sentence.
That was
It's
really
going to be
good.
perfect. Nice play by Secret as Olaf trying to do some axe throwing. But now that the fight has ended with Showmaker dying, it doesn't look like DAMWON are going to bite any more bait. But that does mean now 4-on-3. They can try to push the issue up here in the top side, even 5-on-3 with the bottom lane entirely coming on up here. Rift Herald is going to go down. They're not going to wait to take out 2 plates in order to try to take it out right away with the Rift Herald. They're just going to try to push it in as fast as possible. Probably just get 4 plates here. Maybe even 5, as nobody's coming up to defend.
Yeah, no one's coming to defend. Instead, DAMWON putting their attention in mid lane as Nuguri spending a lot of mana. And Canyon, meanwhile, trying to get that Ocean Dragon. At the end of all of this, though, even though first turret went the way of APK, there's one more plate in mid. It does not look like Nuguri's going to be able to get it. But when all is said and done, because of the XP gaps in every single lane...
바텀 가능? 야, 봐봐.
So let's try this, let's try this.
르블랑.
They
이거
keep
잡았다.
saying LeBlanc.
천천히 봐.
Go slow, go slow.
Yeah. And that was Kaney. For a second, I thought it was Showmaker, and I'm like, you see them in the brush. Where are you going? But that was not the case.
And there is the Mountain Drakes.
Mountain Drakes do come up.
So DAMWON fans can feel a little bit better. If you're APK, you're probably not feeling as good about that. But if you do end up picking up those dragons and you start building some magic resistance, Canyon is going tank Jafar for Far?
Jafar.
He's going
Jafar.
Jafar.
That's like the center J4. It's like when you go AD and not tank, it's Jafar.
Sinbad the Sailor over there. Oh no. Jafar.
Thankfully, most of our J4 players are just, straight up Jarvan, Prince Jarvan. Very nice and wholesome. They like to go tank. They are not too big of sinners in this league.
Well, gold score is completely even right now as we're just going to continue to have ping pong with the side lanes here. This is absolutely exquisite. As Olaf going to come in here, fighting with the blue sentinel, casting those axes. Valdez, come on, play-by-play it.
No, I thought we might just switch it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, break it down. What's going on now?
You can see that he was doing that really quickly. He didn't want Kiana to miss any CS in the top side. Fortunately, is going to miss some CS, so, you have to wonder, what was the idea behind the play, Ellis? Take it away.
Take it away.
You got
it. I think that we need to do casting done quick.
Casting done quick?
All right.
You mean like
Narrate it
speedruns,
right
or
here.
you mean like people on a bench? Like, not really. I mean, that's basically what we do anyway.
Take a look at Kiana here as she treads through the water in the river.
Yeah.
Through the brush as she's now pathing northwest. Not quite sure what her longitude latitude is right now.
You see, she had to slightly move to the left side because that's where the Rift Herald surely comes out, and
she was trying to visit Shirley.
You can try to go for the skip where you go through the Rift Herald pit,
Correct.
but it's such a frame-perfect move that actually most people don't do it because it could just destroy your run.
Quite,
Yeah.
yes.
You can just die right there and then it's over.
Yeah, I truly am understanding and picking up what you're putting down here.
Oh, that's good.
As Keeney, it does seem like his GPS is broke. Doesn't seem to really know where he's going. He's going to need to update that in the next model.
Who, Genie? Kaney?
Keeney.
Kaney. Kaney, it's Kaney. Come on. Isn't it obvious? Like, Kaney.
All right, everyone's beating up on Shirley here. I don't know what
Kaney?
this is. God, they never let her be alone. Oh, man.
Ooh, that actually is going to land. Has the Feather Storm, but does have to flash. Knew that he was going to walk right into that box. Did not want to head on in there. So the Rift Herald comes down here, surely, as APK are trying to push to some kind of lead. They will pick up the mid-tier 1. But not the most massive lead so far in this game, only 500 gold.
If I just learned anything about what I just saw on my screen, it's that Shirley is a home wrecker. That is...
Home wrecker, like home wrecker?
No, a home wrecker.
Oh.
Get out of here.
I thought you meant like the item.
No, no one
thought
builds that.
I thought we were still talking about League of
No, we're
Legends.
not.
Didn't you get removed?
Zezirot's removed. And Banner of Command.
Yeah,
Have a moment of silence for that one. One of the best items in the history of the game.
Wasn't that like the big thing when you and I first started casting together in 2017? Like Tank Scion,
Yeah.
Banner Command, or was that 2018?
Banner of Command Ornn was before its time, okay?
Yeah.
We missed out on that. That would be a great thing to still witness. I wish Banner of Command was still in the game.
It was pretty cool when you buff it up with the Banner Command and then also the Baron buff.
Yes.
And they just had massive rain and they just
yes.
nuke your turrets. And it was like, oh, we actually can't do anything.
Valdez, you are getting me overly excited right now. As
We didn't have a
Nuguri-
lot of Soraka back then, though.
We did not.
I know you love Soraka.
Personally, I do. That is
Yeah.
what LS stands for. So
You have, you've formally announced it that you are in love with Soraka. Still have yet to get a response, though, from Soraka.
yeah.
See how that goes. Mountain Drake coming down here. You see Nuguri does have his TP. I don't see any wards for him to really TP onto behind the team. For now, it looks like a very slow take of the dragon here by APK. They have to be careful about this. They're going to send Aphelios mid. The rotation will be slow from the mid lane from DAMWON, so they will just give this one away. They say, it's only the second mountain, or the second Drake for them. We still have 2 Drakes before they get a soul. We'd rather get the money, and we can pick up all the mountain Drakes later on in the game if we do decide to go in there. I think LS, they've identified that their team composition is going to be much better later on in the game.
Yeah.
They're really not trying to force anything.
They're just taking everything very slow. Giving up the Mountain Dragon, though, is a little questionable, given that there is some resistances on the side of APK, and also you do have that LeBlanc and a Tank Jarvan who's already not dealing damage. Just going to tickle them.
Yeah, he doesn't really do much. He engages.
Now, the fortunate thing here is that DAMWON are basically playing a 5 versus 4. You might locate a heavily bearded man named Olaf.
For a second, I thought you were talking about Kiana. I'm like, she doesn't have a beard. What are you talking about? I mean, she's 1-0, but we'll see how that goes later on. But yeah, Olaf going for Warrior and now into a Durham's Fist.
You know, yesterday when Olaf got the MVP,
Yeah.
that was like
the
when
POG.
it's like when Rihanna gets all the credit for Sia's songs.
What is Sea of Songs?
Sia.
Oh, Sia songs.
Get out of it.
Oh,
I am
okay.
so done with you. You are so...
It's your Rhode Island accent. How was I supposed to understand what you were saying?
now we're making fun of accents here. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
what my New York accent
Yeah,
is totally gone.
I think I need to @Twitch support or something. I don't know what's going on here. Oh
Oh
man.
boy. But why would Rihanna? I don't know. Doesn't Sia like?
Sia wrote a ton of songs for so many famous artists that were big hits.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
That's
think
right.
she.
Okay.
I think that she wrote Titanium as well.
That sounds
And
right.
then
yeah.
Sia just started singing herself, and then blew up. So yesterday when Soraka and Yumi were putting in all the work,
Yeah.
there's Olaf taking
Oh
all
boy,
the credit.
Itsu. Not sure about this one. Really getting caught in there, but I guess Kaney coming in and Nuguri saying, "Hey, why are you getting so aggressive?" Must have seen the Kiana making her way down the lane.
Okay, well, I think Nuguri is going to die because he can't resist himself. He needs to walk up for that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man, he actually did. I am extremely impressed.
Well, it looked like he was going to run up, but then Kaney showed himself, so I feel like it was more a fault of Kaney, if anything.
And right now, the other thing is you have Leandri's on Rumble. He's going Zanya's Hourglass, second item, so I personally don't mind that, especially because you're getting Mountain Drake, so I guess you're getting a little bit more value out of them if you do end up picking them up. but also against the LeBlanc, even against the J4 or the Rakan, the active stasis can actually be really valuable. Every other item on the champions are pretty standard across the board. So nothing too unusual happening, but we truly are in very deep lull state.
Yeah, I've been lulled to sleep by your voice already.
What?
You know, I had a friend who was like, I love listening to your cast. It's great. Right before I go to sleep, it really puts me to sleep.
Yeah, how much you PayPal him?
No, he said it like as a compliment, but it was actually like one of those backhanded compliments. But he didn't even realize that's what it was. He was like, oh, it's just so soothing and smooth. Like, I could listen to it all the time, but I use it to fall asleep. I'm like, oh, thanks, bud. Anyway, we do have an engage here. Canyon in this one. Kaney in the stealth is going to get that lantern out here, but Rakan getting a big engage. But where is the follow-up? Where is everybody from DAMWON? Finally, Showmaker's going to get on in there and make something happen.
Rise is actually just solo queue Rise right now. He's endlessly split pushing without any response. And even though Beryl just went in there and didn't really achieve too much, he did give Showmaker the ability to get in and kill the Kiana. But this game is going a lot slower than I think many people had anticipated. It's also a lot closer than what people might think. Although, Rise really doesn't have an answer. Once he gets that to Righteous Glory, he's going to be able to dog anyone down in lane. The added stats, resistances, etc. are also going to be super big. Flawless.
Canyon, I don't know about this. He does have the stopwatch. Maybe just trying to bait the enemy team on in here. Nuggery just going to 1v1. Kaney looking for the follow-up. Meanwhile, in the team fight up top, Secret is going to get a nice death sentence, but it's not quite enough. Nuggery here, not sure about that fight. Does flash the wall and survive for now. Kaney still looking for him. Is the versatile? It is, and he will trade 1-for-1. As the fight up here on the top side, you can see that Hybrid and Nuclear still at full health, and they're going to be the main guys going for it. That miss on the engage isn't enough. The Featherstorm will be pulled back, but Nuclear is going to be outplayed. The damage is too much, and Hybrid is just going to shut the ball down with the triple kill.
So I feel like right now DAMWON just got Aladios as they dove onto him for absolutely no reason. They could have danced a little bit longer, waited for Nuggery to come back up, Showmaker, because those are the real champions that APK doesn't have a response to. But now, APK threatening Mountain Soul in 5 minutes. Let's take a look at how this all transpires. Leroy Jenkins coming in here onto Flawless with his teammates light years away. Finally, they do end up joining the fray as Secret goes golden against Showmaker, who ends up getting hit by a chain just south of this. Rise and Kiana going blow for blow. Aladios doing quite a lot of damage as he continues to walk forward. Ixu just getting lit up by the blue mage down there around the red buff. Equalizer, not really equalizing anything. In fact, I think he burned himself alive there.
Yeah. It's kind of a sad laning situation for Ixu right now. Nuggery able to make a 2 out of 1 happen.
And, you know, he did get the bonus goal.
Not sure about this from APK.
This is a pretty big throw.
This is 5-on-5, okay? You've had them throwing into you for so long, but now...
Oh, he
missed it! And the Baron goes to Ophelio somehow, but is the damage there? For DAMWON, they could have enough as LeBlanc's going in. Nuggery and Showmaker still alive in this one. Looking for the damage. They are going to chase down Ixu, but it's going to get sniped by the missile. As in will go Nuggery. Does he have the damage, though? He has a massive shield, and that is way more than enough. As where was Aladios in all of this? He was a lot of nowhere. Wasn't able to get in there with his teammates, and so he'll be the only one right now in the game with the Baron buff.
Slow down there, Canyon. I don't know what you're approaching.
Where is he going?
I don't think he knows. I don't think he knows what he's looking at. He's like, is that a new Pokemon? Or?
He put the blinders on. He's just running
You know what
forward.
Ophelio is like? It's like Arceus. Arceus? I don't know how to pronounce it. Get out of here. Put on a different plate every time. Whatever. As we take a look at the replay from a couple of moments ago, and this was really cool. That's a cool champion.
It's a lot of shurikens.
You can actually
flying
get
around.
that in the shop for a certain amount of blue essence or RP,
Yes.
which I personally do recommend. Anyways, Baron went the way of APK, but Flawless doing the best Olaf thing that he does, ends up getting dogged down. Ixu managed to throw one harpoon into Showmaker's face as Gainey tried to come up here to avenge the Rumble, but not going to be able to do it. And now, Deathcap on the rise for Nuggery. LeBlanc is sort of stuck at the same items though. Ludens and Zanya's Hourglass.
Yeah, and we do have the Mountain Drake coming up here in 2 minutes, so this is an interesting kind of thing where, you know, APK has this earlier game team that needs to get ahead, but now they're only one Drake away, and if they do pick that up, that could help them. The only thing is that their team comp doesn't really build that many resistances. You know, you have the Zonyas and the Merc Reds, and I'll hold that thought as Equalizer does come down. Nuclear in a little bit of trouble, but is going to be able to walk away from that one. Showmaker being a huge nuisance in the back.
Oh.
Big Cataclysm onto 3. In goes the Rakan. Everybody charmed up, but where's the follow-up damage? Looks like Hybrid is still really healthy in the back. It's going to get nuked by Rise, it looked like. But hey, how about full health? How does that sound to you? As Aphelios doesn't really feel anything in this moment in time. Is going to go away, though. They're not going to continue on the push. It ends up just being a 2-for-2 at the end.
Yeah, and a 2-for-2 is... Oh.
This is Hybrid on Aphelios.
I got LeBlanc.
Oh, nice lifesteal. Wow.
Yeah, that's really cool.
He's a pretty good champion. I might pick him up in the
Managed to...
in the store.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the store. You can get him for either Blue Essence or RP.
Yeah, but first of all, you're gonna wanna go into Twitch Prime and give that out to your favorite streamer, whoever that may be.
Flawless.
Just kidding, don't do that. We do have the Mountain Drake coming on in, and this, as I mentioned, it's Mountain Soul for the side of APK. DAMWON should be looking to deny this.
Okay, well, total gold. Hybrid leading the chart by only about 130, 140. As still, this is APK threatening Mountain Soul. And this could be a really big upset.
Oh, they found him!
Okay.
They got Nuclear in the back. Why was he there all alone? A really nice jump on him, though, by APK. As now it's 5v4, and their AD carry is so fed. Showmaker trying desperately to make it a 4-on-4. Might just come down to Canyon here. He's got to go for the steal, but he will not, as Mountain Soul is going to be the objective taken here by APK.
They're going to turn this into a mid-push. It would be pretty hard for them to lose at this point. LeBlanc is being invalidated now at this stage by those 3 Mountain Dragons, giving the 18% resistances. And also now, the Soul just having so much more HP is going to be that much more problematic. Nuggery, he hits for a lot of damage. He's going to be able to, I think, get the inhibitor.
Yeah, he will,
Okay,
for
so
sure.
here's the way that DAMWON can still win this game. We're going to have a really chaotic team play, a teleport into bot lane.
They're just going for the win right now. We don't need to listen
need
to your
to-
shenanigans,
wait.
LS, as they are going for it here.
No way!
They're just delaying the back.
No!
Okay, Equalizer's going to come down.
Are
They're just going for the autos here on the Nexus. Is it going to be enough, Nuggery? He's fighting now instead. He's just got to auto the Nexus here. He has that shield.
Are you kidding me?
And he's going to end the game. Nuggery with Nuclear. Get on inside. And they make the Nexus go down. I cannot believe that they actually won that game. Oh, man. LS is literally speechless right now, as you can imagine by his name. That was a bit of a blunder, I'd have to say. I think the MVP is going to be obvious in the hearts of both of us. I'll let you write it down.
Yeah, I'll take
There you go. Yeah. Thank you very much.
all part of the plan.
Yeah. You know, we just wanted to
Listen,
make this series a little
bit
bit interesting.
This is why you're up here with me and not down there, okay? The Zaya knew that getting caught out at that exact moment, dying, and then having Canyon fail to steal
Yeah.
Doctor Strange personify. Yeah, he knew.
It's all the butterfly effect.
This was
you
the
know?
one.
Because
okay, so.
by giving the Mountain Drake, they feel forced to push down the mid lane, and that's when you get them right in your grasp and you stop them from backing.
I don't want to hear it, Valdez.
And that's exactly how you win the
it.
game.
I'm not interested. Personally, not
It's
interested.
incredible.
You know, you want to get better.
Incredible play
you
on a
need to be able
DAMWON.
to know that this is what's going to happen here. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. DAMWON's just really great stuff. Flawless game. I mean, let's just say.
Yeah, very clean.
Unbelievable.
Very
I mean,
clean.
This team obviously going to win Worlds from here. I don't know what to say. But I think we are going to take a look at some of the last team fight here.
All right, so all that they have to do is stop the backs at this point. And Showmaker trying his best. Rumble eventually does get it off, but Nuggery barrel. Oh, that feather tap.
Oh, but he got back.
Oh, because the shield.
All right, this is Nuggery's pro view.
Yeah, that's... He's not using F key. Is that not impressed? Okay, a little less efficient.
Okay.
But taking a look. He said, "Can we try to end?"
Yeah. Take the teleport.
Let's try this. And what a decision to actually turn to deal the damage, force the stasis. It was really close.
He didn't say anything. He like cackles.
I think he
and
was
then he
in
just takes his
disbelief
headset
as
off.
well. But that was really a Rise V9.
It was
sort of a game where he did a whole lot of nothing, but he did take a lot of turrets. So put up a lot of eviction notices is what he did.
Yeah, I mean, that was just flawless effort there.
Yeah, I mean,
by the side of DWG. I mean, they all played incredibly.
It was clean.
Canyon did more damage than the
Absolutely.
Thresh. That was just, I really got to give him the thumbs up for that one. More than 400 damage more than the Thresh. I mean, that was a good idea to go for that one. So,
Listen,
yeah.
this is why you just don't get it, you know?
No, I get it. I get it. That was a great end by Nuggery nonetheless. Seriously, yeah. I mean, he basically took it into his own hands and said, let's try to end the game. And then they just made the decision like that. He made the split-second decisions to fight so that he could get 1 or 2 extra auto attacks. And had he done even one thing differently, the game would not have ended, and maybe APK would have won game number 1. So really got to hand it to Nuggery. He should be the obvious player of the game from game number 1, although you never know with some of the people that vote over here. But either way, guys, we are going to go to a quick break. We'll be back.
하거나.
각 보면 됐잖아.
새로.
난 이런 상황 봐볼게.
일단 억제기는 주고 타워 안에서 막자.
나도 미리가 좀 빠르긴 하거든. 그래서
근데 너 와야 돼. 얘네 더 올려고 하면.
각좀 가보게. 억제기 주면서 각 가볼게.
그러니까 억제기 주고 얘는 더 무빙쳐도 와야 돼.
근데 가야 나도 못 막아 이거 네 명이서.
아야, 저희가 들어갈 거 4명에서 못 막, 3명에서 못 막고 4명 와야 돼, 4명. 아, 그냥 많이 들어간다.
따라가는데 이거 끊을 수 있나 아니면? 아 빠른데.
끊어볼게.
아니 무리해도 안 하는 거 아니야 아니면?
수정까지 써볼게.
그래 아직 안 갔다. 해볼 끝내볼까?
나 나도 텔 탈까?
그냥 끊어 그냥 테러 와봐.
야, 얘네 페이크 쳤어, 페이크 쳤어.
라칸 가자고.
나 페이크 쳤어, 여기.
야
앞에 끊었어.
라칸 그냥 치고 와봐. 타워. 타워 될수 있나? 아니 앞에
앞에 갔어. 앞에